We are on our fifth series of flares and relapses. Don't worry, I have got shorts on, I'm not naked. I've got shorts on, I'm absolutely boiling. My temperature, 1 minute it's high, then it's low, and then it's high, and then it's low. And my relapses though, and well, my flares I mean, take, you know, a good few weeks at least to feel better again, and it's probably the same with you guys. But at least it's only a few weeks now and not a few months, where it used to be a few months. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do some stretches, but don't worry, we're going to do them on the bed. We're going to make them nice and easy. They're going to be passive, which means they're going to be very slow, and the muscles that we're focusing on are closer around to the bone, so we get more beneficial restoring going on in the body. Now, you will probably need a bolster or your 3 pillows with a wrapped up towel, very thick, which I showed you in class 2, I think it was. So make sure you have that ready with you, and if you haven't, just pause and then come back to the camera afterwards. Now also you can have your hot water bottles, whatever you need that you feel that will comfort you through this time, bring to the bed. Make sure that door is closed, you know, even if you are home alone, close the door. So it's just got your positive energy by what we're doing. Leave that world behind. It doesn't need us right now. We need to recharge ourselves. We need to reset ourselves so we can be good people for us and good people for our friends and family. So this is needed not only for us but for our friends and family. So keep that well in mind, that it's for everyone. And then this will help you to feel less guilty if some of you do. No need, because self-love isn't anything to be guilty about. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have the bolster here, and there's a couple of ways that we can do this, and that's the first one. If you have problems with your knees, or you just simply can't cross your legs, and that's fine. Most of us can't, you know. I only can because I've been doing this for a long time. Then you can come on the edge of your bed. Actually, I'm going to stay on the edge of my bed, so everyone get on the edge of their bed. That just makes more sense. And then we're going to have the bolster here. I'm going to go this side so you can see properly. And then we're going to place one arm on the bolster or on the pillows, and we're going to bring the other arm up, and all my belly's coming out. Bring the other arm up, and then we're just going over the head, and we're almost resting our head on our shoulder, okay? And we're bringing that arm up. Now, if you do suffer with your arms and it's really hard for you to put your arms up due to arthritis or fibromyalgia, then you can just simply place your arm down, or you can place it on your bolster or your pillows just like this. So give it a go. Making sure that if your arm is up, making sure that it's bent a little bit, not so it's all hyper extended, because that's where our problems lie, you know, where we've got hypermobile, some of us, so just resting in this pose. And if it's too much for your arm, you can bring it down. It's getting too much for me now, so I'm going to bring it down to the bolster. And you're just getting that nice stretch which is going on here, okay? So just here. Then when you're ready, you're 3 deep big breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth 3 times. We're not here for too long, okay? We're just giving that little side of our back and our stomach a stretch. Good for the lower part of the spine and good for the tummy muscles here. It just activates them, and that's really, really good to protect the back. Okay, so we're gonna bring our hand onto the pillow if you haven't already, and we're going to slowly push up on that pillow, on that bolster, and just roll our head, and then we're going to go the other side. But while you're just there, just feel as well what that's done to your body, because obviously we've only done that side and not this side. So how does it feel for you right now? Do you feel like you've just had a stretch? I definitely do. Maybe it feels warm, maybe it feels empty, maybe it feels nothing. So just closing your eyes and quickly having a feel. And then we're going to go the other way. And then deep big breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth 3 times. Stimulating that nervous system. Some of you might find that this side's easier than the other side, or vice versa. That's simply natural. It's because one side of our body we work harder, so that side's less flexible. So if you try to get a bodybuilder to do yoga, it's hilarious, because they're just not flexible at all. But we don't do yoga because we're flexible, you know. We get flexible because of yoga. I was stiff as a board when I first did yoga. I was like that Tin Man. Have you seen that meme of the Tin Man in the yoga classes? I was exactly like him. I really was. And if you want, you can bring your arm down if you haven't already. You'll probably start to notice when your arm's down, you get stretch along your neck, which is still obviously very beneficial. Letting all that stress go away from the shoulder. So many of us have our ears up to our neck, our ears up to our neck. So many of us have our shoulders up to our ears, when we're stressed. I know I do. And gently coming up slowly, making sure the head is last. That's amazing. Again, closing your eyes, feeling what has just happened to the body there. Because we have to stay in the present moment for this to work, as you know. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the bolster or the pillows, whatever you have, behind your back. And I will do this the other way as well, so you can see my back. But what we're going to do is we're going to place both of the hands. I know it's very difficult for you to see me on my bed. Let me see if I can move it back a little bit and see how that goes. We might be able to get my knees in there. Yeah, that would be okay. So you're placing the hands on your knees, and then you're going to place this hand all the way back to the edge. Okay, you see my hand here? Some of you wiggling fingers. You're going to try and get it back as far as that, okay? And then this hand is going to go on the other edge of the bolster. So I will direct this from the back as well. So if you're not quite sure what happened there, then I will show you from the back. So bring that arm there, and then this arm here, and then we're going to try and look just across from our shoulder. So we're looking a line from our shoulder, okay? Give a nice good stretch here, and you might find that it's a bit too much for your arm. Maybe you're hypermobile and you have to be careful, so you could just bring it in the centre if it's way too much for you. Really listening to your body and what your body is telling you to do. And then pulling in those stomach muscles while you're having that twist. It's really good for the whole of the torso and the whole of the back, especially where we have been flaring up and we've just kind of been laying around. We're actually like twisting our gut, okay, so our intestines. We're almost twisting those around, and we're twisting the spine as well, which is nice for the discs in the where the vertebrae of the spine is. The discs, they're like my yoga teacher explains them as like donuts, and if you squeeze them, the jelly goes either side of the disc. So this goes to the sides of the discs, and that just gives it a nice change. And the muscles, the erector muscles, which are strengthening your spine right now, and your posture, it's quite nice. They have this in physiotherapy as well, this move. Okay, and then bringing that arm, so bringing the arm back to the knees, and then sliding the arm, the other arm onto your knees, and it might feel bigger than the other arm. be doing all this, wouldn't we? If you do that, actually do that, you will notice that it is a little bit bigger. It's pretty freaky, but it's because we've just had that move. Okay, so we're going to go the other way. So placing the hands onto the legs, nice posture, and holding those tummy muscles in. And we're going to bring this hand straight over to the other side of the bolster, the pillow, and then bringing the hand onto the other side. Now, again, just because you were good on the other side doesn't mean you're going to be good on this one, or vice versa. Every side's different. I can't even touch the other side of the bolster, so I'm going to have to go in the middle. Relaxing those shoulders if you can. You can even practice with your jaw. If you suffer from jaw ache due to like fibromyalgia or any stress, migraines, you can actually place your tongue on the root of your mouth and relax your jaw, because that's a very good practice to get into. And then really slowly start to bring your arm back, and then the other arm back. Okay, just gently closing your eyes and feeling to what has just happened. Okay, brilliant. And now we're going to come laying down onto the bed, and try and go flat if you can. Okay, so we're going flat, we're going onto our back. What we're going to do is we're going to try and do a pose called the tree pose. So some of you, if you know yoga, you'll probably know this pose. If you don't, that's fine, because I'm teaching you now. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring the right hand foot as alternatives. So I'll show you the big alternative first, and then I'll go into the small alternatives. Remember, we're all moving at different pace. We've all got different conditions. So please don't overdo yourself. That's not what this is about. It's about listening to your body. Okay, so the first alternative is bringing the leg above your knee. Okay, so you're bending your right leg and you're bringing your foot above your left hand knee. Now, if you can't do that, that's fine. You can bring the foot down below your knee. We never go on the knee, okay, because the knees are like china. If you break your knee, that's it. You're basically screwed, you know. So we don't like to go near the knees at all. Now, if that's too much, you can bring your knee down to your foot down to your shin. You can tell I've got fibro. Shin. Could you imagine putting your foot near your chin? Jesus, we'd have to be athletes for that, wouldn't we? We'd have to be one of those acrobat people, whatever, extortionists, whatever they're called. Bringing your foot to your shin, or you can bring your foot on your foot. Now, some of you might want a pillow underneath your right hand knee, and that's absolutely fine. Pause the video and you can do so. Go and get yourself a pillow for that knee. And then when you're ready, you'll free deep, big breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth 3 times. Stimulating the nervous system, which is going to stimulate the organs and the muscles and the cells. What's really good about this pose is if you suffer with nerve pain and you suffer with pain like sciatica or restless leg syndrome, we're giving that nerve, the sciatic nerve, a little bit of a stretch around the lumbar, which is lumbar 4, so it's just below. It's at the back of your back, the vertebrae, the lower back, at the lower back, and it's called L4, and that's where the sciatic nerve starts. And doing this position, it actually stretches the sciatic nerve, so the nerve is kind of stimulating itself by having a stretch. And when you have sciatica, this is a very, very good pose to get into. Or, like physiotherapy, they tell you to do it on a chair, which is really good as well. But if it is too much to do it on the chair, doing it on the floor or on the bed like this is amazing, because gravity's taking over as well, if that makes sense. So we're not having to do all the posture and muscle malarkey. We're just letting the body work with gravity, and that's what's so good about bed yoga. If you suffer with Raynaud's nerve damage and your foot starts getting tingly, then please bring the foot down to the other foot, or down to the shin. Nothing worse than pins and needles, is there? Ugh. Especially if you've got like crutches or a walking stick and your mobility is bad, and then you get pins and needles. Oh, it's awful. So just feeling around the sciatic nerve area, so around the buttock and the lower back, feeling how it feels. Do you feel anything? Can you feel a stretch? Is it warm? Does it feel spacious? Does it feel cold? Maybe it hurts a little bit, and if so, you need to bring the foot down. Or maybe you feel the whole back, buttock and legs stretching. So just feeling. And then start to bring that leg down, so bringing the foot down, sliding on the other leg, and then bringing it down onto the bed, and just feeling the leg, feeling the right hand leg and the right hand lower back. How does it feel? And then we're going to go the other way. Again, always remember your 3 deep big breaths. Again, how is it feeling for you? Is there any stretch going on in the buttock? Is there any feeling of warmth? Maybe there's a feeling of space. Maybe you need to bring the foot down a bit more. Making sure that you're not on your knee as well. How does it feel when you close your eyes and you're in the present moment? How does the lower back and the buttock feel? You know, being in that present moment, I could feel it up in my stomach muscle as well on the left hand side. It really connects you with the whole of the body, just being in this pose. We're really opening up the pelvis as well, because what happens when we're stressed, especially if you're a woman and you're in your late 50s, I'm not saying all women at all, and I'm not saying a statistic number or percentage, but if you think about, you know, yourself, like, how is your pelvis? Is it stiff? Maybe it hurts. Maybe that's where the arthritis is. Maybe there's inflammation there. Maybe there's a lot of nerve pain there. If you think about it, ladies in their 50s, some ladies, you'll notice them wobble, you know, because of the pelvis. But when you actually get to know that lady, they're very motherly, you know, they're very caring, loving and kind. And they're the ladies who kind of struggle with their pelvis and their hips, and it's because they're mother natured. Their womb and their pelvis and their hips are so good for the motherhood. And unfortunately, when they worry about their children, their family, what happens is a lot of the stress will go in the muscles around the pelvis and the hips, and that's what makes it quite tight. Now, I'm not saying all ladies, okay, I'm saying some ladies, but just notice, you know, when you go out, just notice to see ladies around that age that are very good mothers, or very kind. They don't have to be mothers, but they're very kind and caring. Just check to see if they have a wobble, and then tell them, you know, why, and bring them here. Yeah, how's it feeling for you? Letting all the stress out of the pelvis, of the hips. Passive stretching those muscles so all the stress has to leave. And then we're going to slide that leg down. So slide your foot down onto your right hand leg, and then come in to a laying down position. And then we're going to come into a fetal position, and we're going to sit up. So we're going to roll up on to the edge of the bed. And what we're going to do now is we're going to do some neck movements, and this is what really made me want to do yoga when I was 18, and I was carrying my first child, and my one of my best friend's mum had just died, and I was about 8.5 months pregnant, and I was distraught because my best friend's mum was also my second mum, and I locked myself in the room actually. Back then you didn't have YouTube and things like that, you didn't really know what you were doing, but I just intuitionally started to do these moves, and then I found out later down the line that it's actually yoga. And because I had a lot of stress going on around here, obviously carrying a baby, it's hard work, and I think with everything going on, like if you're in lockdown, if you're with family, things can get very stressful, and that's when we tend to, you know, we end up staying there. So I want to work on that today. I want to get the posture nice for you guys so you can be in less pain as possible. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hold in our stomachs, because when we hold in our stomach, our whole of our skeleton changes. Look in the mirror, you know, if that's your homework, when you're naked, look in the mirror and you'll be able to see. Some of us are very rounded, you know, I am, because of pain. When you're in pain, the first thing you do is round, because you're trying to protect your body's and your brain is trying to protect your organs. So we are here to retrain that and get back into something normal, how we normally look, you know, back in the days when we were healthy, or felt more healthy. So we're holding in the belly muscles, and this will bring our skeleton back into a nice posture. So you don't have to work your back, because we're not really working the muscles with the skeleton. But if you bring your tummy muscles in, everything's just effective. So that's something that we need to rely on, is our tummy muscles. Okay, so making sure that when you're washing up or when you're sitting down, always contracting those tummy muscles. Okay, so we're going to place the hands onto the knees and we're going to come onto the edge of the bed if you haven't already. And what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in, and we're breathing in and our head is coming to the side, so it's coming across and our head is going as far down as we possibly can, and then we're breathing out and we're going to neutral, breathing in down the other side and neutral. So if you start to do this with me, breathing in and neutral, and do this in your own rhythm, so the way that you would normally breathe, okay? So your head might go a bit faster, or it might go a bit more slower, but go your pace. Closing the eyes, focusing on the breath, even though you're going at your own rhythm. Focusing your breath with your nostrils, feeling your nostrils, feeling if it's tickly or if it's warm. Making sure those tummy muscles are nice and tight, easy to forget. Okay, coming to neutral, and then we're going to turn the head to the left hand side, breathing in, and then turning it back to neutral, breathing out. Breathing in, turning to the right. Breathing out, turning to neutral. Remember thinking no thoughts. You'll get the most random thoughts that pop into your head. Is your mind playing games with you? Because the mind thinks it's bored, there's nothing to stimulate your brain or your mind. So you have to leave it and return back to the breath. And bringing the head back to neutral, holding those tummy muscles in still for your back. And we're going to look to our left hand just above our shoulder, and then we're going to roll the head down, breathing in. It's in neutral, looking down, and then breathing out, looking up to the right hand side. And when we get to the right hand side, we're breathing in and looking down to neutral, and then we're breathing again and we're looking over our right hand shoulder. So we're kind of dipping like a smile, okay? We're not going around, because this is actually can be quite challenging for the neck. So we're just staying in a smile. So breathing in, neutral, breathing out, looking to the right. Breathing in, going to neutral. And then breathing out, looking to the left. Making sure that the tummy muscles are always activated to protect your skeleton. Focusing on just the breath, nice and natural. When you're ready, coming back to neutral, and then bringing your head up into the center, so you're looking at the camera. And then when you're looking at the camera, just gently closing your eyes and seeing how your neck feels and your shoulders. And then you can either stay seated if it feels okay, or you can come and lay on the bed in Savasana. You can use your rice socks, Primark, mine are Primarky. For your eyes, for your hands, a weighted blanket. Whatever feels good for you. Okay, we're just going to place the hands on our belly. And if you can't reach your belly, that's fine. You can just place your arms down. Don't stress too much about it. We need to feel very relaxed. We're going to bring our awareness onto our tummy. And some people actually don't breathe properly. They breathe the wrong way around. So just check to see if this is you or not. But what we do, when we breathe in, the tummy goes out. And when we breathe out, the tummy goes in. That's the right way to breathe. So very important if you suffer with breathing issues as well. It's very important for anyone actually that is suffering with what we have, because if we're not breathing properly, then everything is kind of stressing. So what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in and feel the belly rise up, and breathe out and feel the belly rise, feel the belly come into itself. And it's nice and naturally, and we're just placing our awareness on that present moment. Remembering any noises, any thoughts, just let them be, leave them, let them go. It's always good to have a little bit of noise in the background for you to practice on staying in the present moment. You know, even if we're in the countryside, we can hear the birds. And when I practice my Buddhism, which I've been doing for 9 years, the Buddhist centre is actually next to a pub. It's in the town centre as well. So meditating and being aware doesn't mean that you have to be in a silent place at all. The more noisy it is, the more of a warrior you are, because you have to place your present feeling on your body. Up and down, just feeling the rhythm going up and down on your belly. of your tummy, moving up and down. And gently wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. And you can stay where you are, or you can come over into a fetal position and then come on the side of your bed, off the floor, wherever you are. And much, much love. Give yourself a hug. I love my body. My body goes through so much, and I will nurture it because of that. Say it and believe it. Much love. See you tomorrow.